My book Steps Towards Reinventing Yourself is available now on Amazon. Check link below in description box and community board.
Hello, my divine kings and queens. I am back to do another video. In today's message, God is letting you know you're going from being picked on to being picked first. And one of the things that I want to say about yesterday when I had so much going on, and it's just like I'm trying to prepare and get things in order for just it's a lot. It's a lot. So in the midst of me doing all of that, right? I tell y'all, you know, when certain songs come to me, I be looking them up. So this particular song was from the Temptations, right? The Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer is what came to me. And I'm like, we're not even in the holiday season, so I didn't know why. But let me break this down for y'all, right? They picked on Rudolph. If my understanding of it is they picked on Rudolph really bad. Rudolph was always set apart from the pack because of his bright light, which was his red nose. No one else had that but Rudolph. So he was special. But in that period that for a while that he was picked on for having that red nose and for his light shining so bright, right? He had a good nature. He was very kind. He was very innocent, right? But he was picked on all the time for having this bright light that no one else had. Out of all the other reindeers, Rudolph was leading the pack. You're going from being picked on for what your purpose was. You're going from being picked on for being a good person, which is what I take from that, having his light shine so bright. He was a good person. He did things that other people did not do, was not willing to do. Everybody, like I said, when everybody is trying to be the same and wanting to fit in, people will look down upon you, and you could be the most sane one and one with the most sense out of the group. And people won't perceive you to be that way because of the energy that they're operating out of. So it was like you was around a lot of low vibrational people. You was around a lot of negative, jealous-hearted people who didn't want nothing for you. But see, the thing is, they saw that good on you because of what? Your light shine bright. So even though they knew the things that they were saying about you couldn't stick to you, they hated you for who you were. They hated you for who you are as a person because that's not what's in them. But you're going from being picked on to being picked first because there's something in your life and what you've been praying to God for. Like, well, all these different people is tied to this organization and tied to this. What about me, God? What is it that you have for me? I want this opportunity. I want this opportunity to prove myself that I'm worthy, that I'm ready. And that opportunity is about to present itself to you because he's going to use what you went through, use what people shamed and mocked and joked you for. And that is what's going to push you out to the forefront by being picked first for this big opportunity that he has for you. And I feel whatever this opportunity is, it don't matter who been putting in the work, who was before you, who has seniority over you. You are going to come in leading whatever this initiative is, whatever this project is, whatever this new opportunity is, whatever this blessing is that is going to present itself to you and manifest and unfold in your life. But like I said, the Temptations version came to me, so they never left. So I'm just going to say it. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. So a lot of the times when they would pick on him, it was like, we don't want you in our team. We don't want to pick you, or they would joke him like, why would he even want to, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a lot of things that people was looking at you for, joking you about that they shouldn't have been joking you about, passing judgment on you where they shouldn't have been passing judgment. Instead, more people should have been trying to help you, and more people should have been trying to shed a light on these negative and evil people that you was around, but they stayed quiet. And then they sat back and wanted to see what was going to happen in your life and what you was going to do. And it's because of that people are getting hit on both ends, where they had a hand in going up against you, or they sat back and could have spared you and revealed things to you, and they chose not to. Because they sat on the truth. You don't sit on the truth when you know that someone's life is being put on the line, when you know that people are practicing evil against someone, when you know that someone don't like someone. You feel it in your heart of heart and your spirit. You know what it is, you know what it's not. So at the end of the day, it's like they used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games, right? And then it says, then how the reindeer loved him. They shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Santa came to say, hey, Rudolph, you with your nose so bright, come on, come on, come on, guide my sleigh tonight. Now, Santa had other reindeer, right? Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. But who was the famous of them all? It was Rudolph. You know, there's Dasher. There's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen, Comet, and Cupid, and Donner, and Blitzen. The one who was picked on. The one who was picked on, the one who was bullied, the one who was attacked, the one who was left last, overlooked. It was a lot of people who was trying to overlook your accomplishments, overlook who you was because they hated you and what was deep down inside you. There are a lot of people who didn't believe, but didn't stick up for you either. So like I say, you know, you are being paid off exceptionally well for all of that hell that you went through and being picked on. God is going to use that, and he is picking you and placing you out in the forefront. I'm telling you, for a huge opportunity. God is good. I'm telling you, it may take a while because you're on his time, and he has his reasons only he knows. But let me tell you something. When it's presented to you of what the bigger plan was, when you seek a deeper meaning of why you went through what you went through, that's when you truly understand why it had to happen and go down the way that it did. It ain't the ones who fit in with everybody, the ones that everybody like, that end up stepping out and becoming something huge and doing something big with their life. It's the one who they look down on, the one who had to go through the most struggle, the one who really had to push through a lot, overcome a lot, get through a lot, be positive through a lot. Who was the famous reindeer of them all? It was Rudolph. And they picked on him. Didn't want to let him join in on any other reindeer games. They played him. They toyed with him. They tormented him. Until Santa said, look, come on, come on, come on, come on. And won't you guide my sleigh tonight? That's a big opportunity. I mean, when you look at it at that time, in that setting, in that story, this is Santa picking Rudolph. You're being handpicked out of the pack. You go from being picked on to picked first. And you're going down in history for whatever it is that you're going to do, that you're about to do, that you're currently doing. You're going to be handpicked for it. Whereas before you was picked on for shining your light bright. You was picked on for being who you are, being a good person. I'm not saying you do everything right. There's some things that people will call you out for. There's some things that people will look at the bad, always want to pick and nitpick and say something crazy and ignorant. But this goes to show you about, you know, when people can see something on your life, you just got to understand. A lot of broken people, a lot of unhealed people out here, they can't be happy for you if they see that you're going to do something that they never done before. So they have to try to put a block or a stop to it. But you can't block or stop what God has already predestined for someone to have, especially if you're chosen. You are being handpicked for going through and getting through and overcoming everything of what it is that came your way. You're going down in history for it. You're going to be the most famous for it. And you're being picked to lead. You're being picked to lead. And you're being picked first. Continue to be who you are. Continue to move the way that you've been moving. Move in good faith. Do right by people, even if no one sees. That's what God sees. Ain't about what you do when everybody else watch. Oh, I'm doing good. I changed, Lord. You see. Do it when you know ain't nobody watching. It's what you feel deep down. Get this right. How you gonna win when you ain't right within? It's but for so long that you can fake that with yourself. So, whatever it is, I'm proud of you. And I'm glad that you made it this far. I'm telling you right now, Whatever it is, you're being picked first. You're being handpicked. You're being chosen first. You go from being last, being on the back skirts, being put on the back burner, overlooked. You're going from being joked, bullied, picked on to being picked first for whatever this opportunity is that's coming with